Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. So I hope that you are doing fine. So today we will look into the challenges in the environmental ethics. So basically, um, this is our third attempt untuk record this lecture sebab I have an internet problem. So today a little bit late lah. Bayangkan saya dah habis record, tahu-tahu tak ada internet. So tak apalah, kita proceed, okay? Okay, for the introduction, in sustaining our environment, the government are facing several challenges in making their efforts in ensuring the protection of the environment. Okay, the challenge might come from various forms such as finance, human factor, and many more. While in ensuring the environment are being well protected, some challenges may come from various directions such as consumerism, overpopulation, production, and development. So, for our first challenges is consumerism. So, the what is consumerism? Okay, consumerism is the state of an advanced industrial society in which a lot of goods are bought and sold. So basically, consumerism is the activity of buying and selling things. Okay, so we have buyers and sellers, we have consumers and producers, we have also the person who buy things and the person who sell things. So the producer are the one who provide things for the user based on the needs, while the consumer are the person who buy and consume the needs provided by the producer based on their needs. Okay, so the doctrine or principles of consumerism is when a nation or country have a sound or stable economy, the consumption of goods are increasing. It is based on the theory of demand and supply, whereas the higher the demand and needs, the higher the production of the resources. So when the production are increased, a lot of resources, especially natural resources, are located. Okay, so how consumerism may actually affect the environment well-being? According to National Geographic, about 1.7 billion of people are belong to the global consumer class. So what is consumer class? The consumer class is the class of person yang boleh beli barang, good and services lebih daripada keperluan, which means more than their basic needs. So mereka ni, golongan consumer class ni bukan sahaja mereka yang mampu untuk beli barang keperluan, tapi diorang juga boleh beli barang mengikut diorang punya keinginan. Okay, for example, human, kita needs a mobile phone ataupun telefon as a medium for interaction and communication. Okay, so a normal person like us will buy any mobile phone that can enable us to call people, at least snap pictures, and post it to Instagram and so on lah, at a basic standard. Okay. While a consumer class person ni, they can buy more than us. For example, they can buy the new updated iPhone 12 that will be launched soon, provided with Apple Watch. So both mobile phone are used to call people, but the features, especially the price, make it distinguish between basic needs and the needs of satisfaction. Okay? So goods and services will not be produced, bought and sold and traded across borders unless there is demand from them. So when there is no demand, there will be less or even no production. Thus, it will lessen the usage of resources. Special attention should be paid to the demand for natural resources generated by unsustainable consumption. and to the efficient use of those resources consistent with the goal of minimizing depletion and reducing pollution. For example, human in the high needs and demand of wood, which is kayu, lah, which it derived from the trees, and the trees are natural resources. The usage of trees in the production are excessive. Okay, so trees are being used in building house, industry, and even printing our final exam question. Okay, it has been used uh, in many types of industry, yeah, in our daily life lah. So as the reduction of trees can increase the level of carbon dioxide, the usage of trees should be minimized. It is an urge for us to go green, go paperless, find any other materials and alternative that can replace the usage of trees. If we want to cut trees, please ensure that it is being monitored, it is legal, and should undergo replantation. Okay. The second challenge faced is overpopulation. Overpopulation is the situation in which population exceeds the region or planet's carrying capacity. For example, the number of people, other living organisms or crops that can be supported without environmental degradation. So overpopulation ni adalah apabila kuantiti atau bilangan suatu penduduk, makhluk or even haiwan ataupun plants adalah melebihi dari yang sepatutnya. Okay, kalau kita tengok our current Earth population is over 7.6 billion people and it's keep growing from time to time. It could reach 8 billion by 2025, 9 billion by 2040 and a whooping to 11 billion by 2100. This increase will outpace the ability of nature to support. The impact of overpopulation is associated with overfarming, deforestation, and water pollution, as well as the global warming. Okay, here, the larger the population, the more natural resources needed. I give you an example. Okay, keluarga yang ada 5 orang ahli perlu satu kampit beras untuk tahan selama 2 minggu. Tapi a family yang consists of 10, 12 or more people needs more. Sekampit beras bagi diorang maybe boleh bertahan dalam seminggu. So same goes to animal lah. For example, contohnya monyet, monkey. Monkey ni dia senang membiak. So they are overpopulated. The foods in the forest are decreasing, tambah lagi dengan deforestation. So it makes them to migrate and masuk kawasan bandar, ganggu taman perumahan. Sebab apa? Sebab diorang, they need foods. They need food. So they have to. They have to migrate. So to balance the population, the resources available should be enough for the needs of the people or ecosystem. So what happen when resources sikit tapi population meningkat? Yes, resources tak cukup. Good. The demand of resources are increased. It makes the price for good and resources turut naik. Why the price naik? Sebab dia nak maintain the availability of the goods and resources. So siapa yang ada duit, they can get it. Siapa yang tak ada duit, susah lah. Okay, overpopulation always associated with poverty. As people don't have enough money to buy the goods and even the resources adalah tak cukup untuk menampung keperluan penduduk. So overpopulation dia akan create poverty and poverty will result in malnutrition as they are unable to get the basic needs for daily consumption. Since the resources versus population is not balanced, thus some of the people might not get an access to food and clean water. The unequal distribution will increase the incidence of hunger and malnutrition. So it is important to ensure that the sources used for consumption and usage of water and energy need to be sustained. It can be achieved through green technology. For example, we are using solar panel to generate electric and power rather than we use dam. Empangan jana kuasa lah dam, bukan dam mencarut tu. Okay. Sebab nak buat empangan, lot of space needed. Okay, contohnya macam Tasik Kenyir. Dulu Tasik Kenyir ni hutan. So it is quite a loss for us to have great loss to the flora and fauna there. Tapi what to do to fulfill the needs? We need to do something, and sometimes we need to sacrifice. So the third challenges faced by the government is in the context of production. When the demand for basic needs increase, of course, the level of production should also be increased. So it is important to ensure that the production pattern change toward a greener and more socially inclusive global economy, so that we will able to sustain the availability of our natural resources, as well as ensure the sustainability and the protection of our environment. It is significant, achievable, thus Sustainable Development Goals 12 aim to achieve this. So each year, an estimated one-third of all food produced, which equivalent to 1.3 billion tons, worth around $1 trillion, end up rotting in the bins of consumers and retailers, or spoiling due to poor transportation and harvesting practice. Okay, Alhamdulillah tahun ni Ramadan tak ada bazar. So kalau kita tengok bulan Ramadan ni, kadang-kadang banyak pembaziran yang berlaku lah. Jadi bila tak ada bazar ni, kuranglah sikit pembaziran yang berlaku. Okay. Other than that, less than 3% of the world's water is fresh, which is drinkable. So, ada 97% water dekat bumi ni yang tak boleh diminum. Okay, punyalah polluted our water is. Okay, man is polluting water faster than nature can recycle and purify water in rivers and lake. Excessive use of water contributes to the global water stress. Bukan orang je stress, water pun pandai dah stress sekarang. Tapi water stress ni bukanlah stress yang tension apa semua tu, tapi water stress ni adalah kekurangan sumber air yang boleh diminum. So the fourth challenges is development. Okay, so most developing states are increasing its provision in order to provide better service and public goods. So the purpose of development adalah untuk meningkatkan the level and quality of life of the population by providing basic necessities, infrastructure, and many more, and supposedly without making any damage to the resources, natural resources of the environment. For example, we have to do deforestation to build house, building, make roads, and so on. So supposedly development should be balanced with the protection and preservation of the environment. Most people in rural area of developing countries relying too much on agriculture sector. Thus, it declined the natural resources. For example, a few years back, Malaysia punya sektor ekonomi utama adalah agriculture, whereby it provide import, export for palm oil, latex, cocoa, paddy, and many more. Thus, it will endanger our land, as most of our land are being utilized for agriculture only. But nowadays, realizing the needs of sustaining the environment and economy, our country and many other country has shifted their economical sector kepada sektor lain lah, seperti sektor pembuatan, sektor perindustrian, sektor tourism, and many more. So the agriculture production base operating based on the needs. Jadi dia tak fokus too much as a main economic sources lah. Okay, globalization is under development. Okay, to be a developed country, a country should undergo globalization. Okay. So globalization is the process by which goods, services, capital, people, information, and ideas flow across national borders. An interdependent global economy requires exchange or sharing of labor force, production, ideas, knowledge, products, and service across borders. So it also involves reduction of barriers such as borders, distance, and states. Globalization is the catalyst to the increasing of consumerism and production due to globalization. And the global economy will help the people around the world to consume a lot of goods. So globalization akan meningkatkan the needs of the consumer. Okay? As I said earlier, when the demand of the needs increase, more production need to be done. Thus, it requires more resources. So there is four basic aspect of globalization, which is trade, capital movement, movement of people, and spread of knowledge and teknologi lah. Okay, trade ni, okay, trade ni dia involve the transfer of goods ataupun the transfer of service from one person or entity to another, often in exchange for money. So usually the nation yang ada akses or lebihan agriculture ataupun natural resources akan export the resources for the exchange for money. The more they provide, the more they earn. Thus, to earn more, they will provide more. So, what happened to overproduction? Yes, degradation of soil, deforestation, pollution, and many more will happen lah. So, same goes with capital movement, where it is the flows of foreign currency between countries. So, ia melibatkan sama macam trade, ada export and import, but it is more to investment. For example, ada country bayar that nation untuk provide them with certain resources, then they will pay it lah. So it is more on bilateral agreement, bilateral contract between two nations lah. While for the movement of people, it involves migration and so on. When people migrate, they will bring their ideas, okay, culture, and knowledge that can be shared. Thus, it encourages the spread of knowledge and technology. Okay, for example, dulu we are practicing the traditional method of agriculture. So, during that time, the production is lesser lah. But when we use the technology, it can help us in reducing the time, okay, increase the production, increase the productivity and so on lah. So globalization ni they can either give either benefit ataupun negative impacts to the nation, but it is depending on how the government able to manage the globalization well. Kalau well managed, then it will benefit us, vice versa. As a conclusion, it is important to identify the challenges that may be faced in order for government to find strategies either to overcome or lessen its negative impact. Public awareness is important to be enhanced to promote the culture of sustainable usage, consumption, and activities. Okay, I think that's all for today. So basically, this chapter tak masuk final sebab this chapter you have covered in your project lah. Jadi don't worry too much. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.